When you think of Karl Urban in comic book roles, your mind probably jumps straight to Billy Butcher from The Boys. After all, that brutal anti-hero has defined his recent career. But according to Urban himself, the comic book character he is most eager to revisit is not Butcher at all, it is Judge Dredd. Yes, Urban has openly said that he would return to Dredd in a heartbeat. And that statement alone has reignited long-standing fan hopes for a sequel to one of the most underappreciated comic book movies of the last decade. To understand why this matters, you have to look at Urban's comic book resume. He has dipped into multiple universes over the years. He appeared in the Marvel Cinematic Universe as Scourge in Thor Ragnarok. He played in graphic novel adaptations like Red and Priest. And of course, he became a household name in the streaming era through The Boys. But among all of these, Dredd holds a special place in his heart. Released in 2012, Dredd was based on the 2000 AD comic series Judge Dredd. Urban portrayed the helmeted law enforcer operating in the dystopian megacity 1, where judges serve as police, jury, and executioner. Unlike the earlier 1990s adaptation starring Sylvester Stallone, this version leaned heavily into the darker, grittier tone of the source material. Urban never removed the helmet, staying faithful to the comics and allowing the performance to rely entirely on voice and physical presence. Critically, the film was well received, especially by comic book fans who appreciated its uncompromising approach. It delivered intense action inside a towering high-rise controlled by a ruthless crime lord, creating a contained yet explosive narrative. However, despite strong reviews and a devoted cult following, the box office did not generate enough momentum for an immediate sequel. Over the years, demand for a continuation has only grown louder. Urban has consistently expressed affection for the role, emphasizing how much he enjoyed making the film. What stands out in his recent comments is not just nostalgia, but genuine enthusiasm. He has made it clear that if the opportunity arises, he would gladly step back into the armor. And even if he is not involved, he still wants to see more Dredd stories told. That said, the situation is complicated. A new Dredd project has reportedly been in development, with Taika Waititi attached as director. If that version moves forward without Urban, it could signal a reboot rather than a continuation. Meanwhile, Urban's current comic book journey is approaching its own turning point. The final season of The Boys is on the horizon, marking the conclusion of his time as Billy Butcher. That closing chapter naturally raises questions about what comes next. Could Urban return to the Marvel Universe in another capacity? Could he appear in a future DC project? Or will he finally get the Dredd sequel fans have been asking for since 2012? The interesting part is that Urban's love for comic book adaptations has never wavered. He has repeatedly embraced the genre across studios and storytelling styles. Unlike some actors who distance themselves from superhero or graphic novel roles, Urban appears genuinely enthusiastic about revisiting these worlds. For fans, the idea of a Dredd sequel is especially compelling because the groundwork has already been laid. The world building was established, the tone was set, and the character arc felt intentionally open-ended. A continuation could explore larger-scale threats within Megacity 1, or even expand beyond the high-rise format that defined the first film. At this point, nothing is officially confirmed. There is no production date, no casting announcement, no finalized script. But one thing is clear: if a Dredd sequel moves forward and Karl Urban is invited back, he is ready. And sometimes in Hollywood, that willingness is half the battle. Would you rather see Karl Urban return as Judge Dredd, or do you think the character deserves a full reboot? And after The Boys ends, which comic book universe should he explore next? Share your thoughts below and stay tuned for more updates on your favorite adaptations.